Right, hello everyone, welcome back to another walkthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. If you have not seen the previous videos that over there, I recommend you watch them before watching this one. Link below will be hopefully the Origins and Dragon Age 2 game. I hope to one day play, record, and upload to YouTube. Future reference would be Dragon Age the Veilguard, and I really have no interest in playing that game, but because, you know, of all the bad stuff happening to it. Granted, Veilguard has some good moments in it, sure, but long-term storytelling, suck at it, so I would really have no interest in it, but I will still have to play it regardless. So Dragon Age the Veilguard will be linked below when I get the chance to play it. Also linked below will be other games created by BioWare and EA games, such as the Mass Effect trilogy games, along with Andromeda, which I really forget to mention sometimes, and the next Mass Effect game coming out. And similar games to like the fantasy world of Dragon Age. Not gonna go through the details about that, just gonna say the fantasy worlds will be linked below. And picking up where we left off, this is the part where I believe is where we go to Temple of Mythal, I believe, to find the well. And I don't know how far we got till we get there till we get to finish the game, because we'll still need to choose a new divine, and I think I'm going towards Cassandra because I don't currently have, you know, imported stuff from the Dragon Age Keep here, so obviously when I redo Dragon Age Inquisition, it'll be with the decisions from the Dragon Age Keep, which means obviously in my second walkthrough, I will have Liliana as the divine. But for now, for this one, I think I'll have Cassandra as the divine. Anyway, as I was saying, I believe this is the one where we find the Temple of Mythal with the well thing, the Well of Sorrows. And I think for both outcomes as well, I'm going to have the Inquisitor drink from the well for both walkthroughs too. So oh, and also too, I just want to say, you know, like for the romance, even though I just say, you know, like I thought for the romance on my second attempt I go with Solus just to continue it in the Veilguard. But seeing where it goes, forget it. Forget about romancing Solus. I'm just gonna romance Josephine from now on, and whether the Inquisitor be Elven Mage or Human Mage, I really wouldn't care anymore. Anyway, let's play.
Your faith in your commander is well placed, Ambassador. Victory is all but in sight.
With Orlais' Imperial Guard joining us, it was never in doubt. Corypheus has been seen in the fray. Will you not consider moving further from the front line?
Dear Lady Montillier, we cannot send our subjects where we ourselves fear to tread. All Thedas will see Orlais stand triumphant with the chosen of Andraste.
As your majesty wishes. Inquisitor, I hear this Eluvian lies in a temple nearby. No doubt you're departing for it now. Be safe.
Promise me you'll leave the instant the fight comes closer.
I promise. Return once you can.
We are gladdened to see you, Herald. This day will be recalled for ages. We are privileged to witness the fulfillment of the Inquisition's purpose.
The sight of our Orlesian allies risking their lives here humbles me.
Your worthy cause even if we did not will it. Men and women of faith serve you. Their favor is no less than our own. Their service no less dear. With Orlais at your side, we will see you victorious against Corypheus. May you walk in the light.
Down the hill, Inquisitor. He wishes to join you for the last push.
Those were Grey Wardens. They must be the last of those enslaved at Adamant.
If they are forced to obey him, death will be a blessing.
divine! The monsters are running, your worship!
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Watch out. They've posted archers on the wall.
Were we just attacked by elves?
It seems this temple of Mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
river to the temple.
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal.
Be ready. Corypheus will be there.
I hear fighting ahead.
Namilana Sobanalet.
They still think to fight us, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows.
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
cannot be!
Across the bridge, now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an eluvian, but he mentioned a well of sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
You were guessing. Corypheus might not be after this eluvian. It might not even be here.
Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So that's how the bastard survived, Hawk.
We'll find a way to stop Corypheus once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back. I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians.
them off!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We don't know what's behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
Their goal? Or yours?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I should take your word that this is altruism and not hunger for power.
Yes. Far easier to believe the Witch of the Wild's full of greed. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
What sort of curse should we brace ourselves for if we use the well?
'Twould be easier by far to advise you of a curse. This price is not so well defined. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. Time to proceed to the next ritual, I should think. Yes?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus for good?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things are possible. One, this is a group of Dalish separated from their brethren, cultists, fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Alathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
If they keep records, it could change everything we thought we knew about history.
It is thrilling, no? To discover an era thought lost forever has possibly thrived in the shadows. We may, however, find these elves reluctant to part with their long-kept secrets.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
It may have served as a chamber of reflection, perhaps to contemplate the righteousness of one's cause. More importantly, I suspect none were permitted beyond this area without a priest. Ancient texts claim Mythal passed judgment in the flesh, but 'twas surely the priests who proclaimed rulings here.
Why did the ancient elves insist on so many rites?
We may safely assume one did not petition high priests for Mythal's justice by strolling up and knocking. I see no more insufferable ceremony here than in a chantry.
More rituals. What are they for, do you know?
I believe they signify an intent to lay oneself bare, to champion a cause without pity, regret, or shame. Mythal's cult was not fond of vacillation. One approached them with nothing less than complete confidence.
What happened to those who were less sure of themselves?
Legend does not say. Perhaps this place has a more gruesome history than we know.
You said this Mythal was worshipped as a goddess.
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mythal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mythal.
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful. Pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
If you know more about this, Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
What do you mean, exiled?
Tricked by the Dread Wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace, and their gods did not save them. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter. Who can say?
I want to discuss the well again.
I see. An opportunity to use the well may not even arise. I understand this. All I meant to suggest is that, if it does, I be the one to do so. I am willing to accept the consequences.
You would pay the price for this, and you don't even know yet what it does.
We know Corypheus seeks the well and believes it valuable. We also know it to be guarded jealously, the last remnant of a culture thought dead and gone. So yes, I would take my chances, if you permit it.
What if I don't permit it? What then?
What would you propose? Leave it be? Allow another to find and take it? Someone worse, perhaps, than Corypheus?
You're better than Corypheus.
I am. Have I proven myself so unworthy of trust? The discussion may be moot. We cannot know. I only ask you to consider.
How can you not care what the consequences are? Even Corypheus seems to.
I'm not a child grasping after a toy. I understand the risk of what I seek. Let us turn our attention to hunting your enemies, shall we? Discussion of the well can wait.
The ritual is complete.
We are close. There is but one more path to follow.
is lit.
So, what now?
Come, let us see if the doors have opened.
Who is this meant to be?
Fallandine, overseer of funerals and guide to the elven dead. I have heard the Dalish invoke him on their deathbed, or before quests from which they expect no return.
People cling to whatever gives them hope when their time comes.
Perhaps that's why the Dalish sometimes refer to Fallandine as the Merciful One.
I do not believe they sing songs about Fallandin's vanity.
Do you know any legends?
It is said Fallandin's appetite for adulation was so great, he began wars to amass more worshippers. The blood of those who wouldn't bow low filled lakes as wide as oceans. Mithal rallied the gods once the shadow of Fallandin's hunger stretched across her own people. It was almost too late. Fallandin only surrendered when his brethren bloodied him in his own temple.
Did ancient elves believe all their gods so terrifying?
Yes, I believe they did.
Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we leap after the Templars.
What's this?
I believe we are in the presence of the elven goddess Ondrul, Lady of the Hunt.
Or a goddess of sacrifice, according to some.
Truly? I wonder if that is why Ondrul's patron animal is the hare. 'Tis said the Dalish invoke her before a chase, especially if they happen to be stalking humans.
We're lucky civilization as we know it is intact.
Some admire the Dalish for avoiding the gifts of progress for so long. Many Orlesian commanders consider skirmishes against the Dalish excellent sport. is not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Venavis. You are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
So, you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlin did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vira Belasan must be preserved.
What is this Vira Balasan exactly?
It is a path, one walked only by those who toiled in Mithal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
We did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mithal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vira Belasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
Morrigan!
They left someone behind. A handy guide, maybe?
Mytholanast. That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
She seeks to protect the Well of Sorrows.
This place looks untouched.
The entire temple must have looked like this long ago. How could the elves pour such devotion into this nonsense?
We can always ask our hosts.
I will leave that to you.
Henshra, Gilas Velafan.
I believe she would prefer that we remain close.
Just a quick look around. Well of Sorrows.
So Mithal endures.
Andraste, guide us.
Fight on! An army of these bastards won't stop us!
How will you get to the well, General?
You tough bastards. A day's march, hours of fighting, and still fierce as dragons. The Chantry never knew what it was throwing away.
Samson, sir, watch out!
Inquisitor. You and those elf things don't know when to stop. You've hunted us half across Thedas. I should have guessed you'd follow us into this hole.
I spoke with your Tranquil, Maddox. He sacrificed himself for your cause.
I told him not to. He died as one of us then. One of the faithful. Corypheus chose me twice. First as his general, now as the vessel for the Well of Sorrows. You know what's inside the well? Wisdom. The kind of wisdom that can scour a world. I give it to Corypheus, that he can walk into the Fade without your precious anchor.
What's your part in it? What's a vessel?
What else empties a well? I'll carry its power to Corypheus. One more task entrusted to me. Being force-fed Chantry lyrium was good for something. This armor makes me a living fortress, mind and body. I won't forget a word of the well's knowledge. Corypheus will be unstoppable.
I'll see Corypheus dead before I let him wield that power.
How are you going to stop him? You're no match for Corypheus. Even if you drink from the well, you'll never master its wisdom as he could. This is the strength the Chantry tried to bind. But it's a new world now, with a new god. So, Inquisitor, how will this go?
Power's all well and good, until it's taken away.
What did you do? What did you do? My armor is gone. Delirium! I need it! Kill them all!
Fight them!
Save you now! I'll show you, bastards! There we are! Get around them! You will fall! Now run! You think you'll win? Come on then! Take it from Corypheus. You mustn't.
He's still breathing.
We can take him back to Skyhold for judgment.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the Sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Enough.
You cannot honestly...
I said enough.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Not without your permission.
One does not obtain permission. One obtains the right. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen-Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Vira Belasan remains. As do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shamlin have not touched. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity never to awaken, if fate is kind.
Thank you for this gift, Abelas.
Do not thank me yet, Shemlin.
Malas amali nahalam abalas. His name, Abalas, means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mathal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
Seems like that should be a concern.
Knowledge begets a hunger for more. I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone? You're not the only mage here.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
I would be.
You lead the Inquisition. This is not a risk you can take. I have the best chance of making use of the well for everyone. Let me drink.
You're not concerned about the price? Bound forever to the will of Mythal?
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan? We don't know what will happen.
We do not, and yet it must be done. I am ready.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
You're asking me? This is a lot of... weird... I barely understand how any of this works.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
The Inquisition needs you. Corypheus still endangers us all.
I am forever balked by those who believe they know better than I. Drink if you will, for the sake of us all, but steel your will to do it.
Why am I here? Corypheus, a Magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him. If you can help me vanquish Corypheus, take whatever price you wish.
Inquisitor! Inquisitor! How do you feel?
The Illuvian! Through the mirror!
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not.
He won't hide.
You hear it. The well speaks to you.
It's voices, whispering from so far away I can barely hear them.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
I'm doing all I can, Morrigan. It'll have to be enough.
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon isn't an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed. That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but with his dragon... I need to summon Mythal.
Whatever Mythal was, goddess or myth?
There. An altar in the wilderness. That's where I need to go.
I see you are determined. So be it.
Are you certain of this?
I don't think certain is the right word.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
We must plan for you to fight one last duel, my darling. This time for all of us. Once you find Corypheus, I suppose we must... wait.
I just want to see your face again once this is over.
I'd be happy to arrange that. Please be sure to. I hope that you... Maker, I wish you didn't have to go.
I'll come back from this fight alive. I swear it.
I'll take you at your word. I must attend to some tasks before you draw out our enemy. Do go before I begin to cry.
Let's see what we have.
Letters are pouring in from all corners. Congratulations, pledges of loyalty, conversions to Andraste.
All premature until we deal with Corypheus. All right.
Let us begin.
So, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. We went to an ancient rune where you consumed a pool of elfiness, and then walked through a mirror, and wound up back here. Have I mentioned that the shit that happens to you is crazy? I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal?
Carry on.
Why did you do it? I warned you not to.
Solus.
You gave yourself into the service of an ancient elven god!
What does that mean exactly?
You are Mythal's creature now. Everything you do, whether you know it or not, will be for her. You have given up a part of yourself.
I have not become Mythal's slave.
Not yet. But if you remove the layer of nostalgia from stories of the elven gods, you might see the danger. They were arrogant and fickle. They warred amongst themselves. They had feuds, vendettas. And you are bound to one of them now. I suppose it is better you have the power than Corypheus. Which leads to the next logical question. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I'm not arrogant enough to think it's my decision alone. Whatever happens, we'll do it together.
You think to share your power, to avoid the temptation to misuse it. A noble sentiment, but ultimately a mistake.
Why?
Because while one selfless woman may walk away from the lure of power's corruption, no group has ever done so.
There's a first time for everything.
Perhaps, but it will not be this time. I believe even you know that.
Why is this so important to you?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You must not let false modesty allow you to pass your power to someone else. There are few regrets sharper than watching fools squander what you sacrifice to achieve. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
Thank you, Solus. We couldn't have done this without you.
You are welcome.
What happened at the Elven Temple? It's got me thinking. I should go back, shouldn't I? To Tevinter. Once this is done. If we're still alive. All my talk of how terribly wrong things are back home. But what do I do about it? Nothing.
How does this relate to the Elven Temple?
You encountered ancient elves. A piece of history. Something the Imperium didn't destroy. Maybe my people can atone for what we've done. There is something still left to restore. Maybe not all of us want to, but that could be altered. If you can change minds, so can I.
Someone with your impeccable taste could transform Tevinter.
I hope you're right. You usually are. It might surprise you to know that you're the one who inspired me. You're shaping the world, for good or ill. How could I aspire to do any less? If it means proving that Tevinter can be better, that there's hope even for my homeland, I would do anything.
I was pondering who might be divine, and it suddenly occurred to me. Is it so ridiculous for the Grand Clerics to support me? Why shouldn't they?
If you were divine, what would you do?
Change things. Change everything. Your support of the Mage Rebellion was a good start. We must build on this. No more circles. The mages will be free. The Chantry will accept them as the Maker's children. In fact, it will accept everyone. Elves, dwarves, even Canary. Why exclude them? The Chantry allows our differences to tear us apart, instead of teaching us how we are the same.
Well, now that I think about it, if I'm being completely honest, I'd rather just choose Liliana like that, because while in my second attempt, I'm gonna be making different choices because, you know, I have the Dragon Age keep, but at the same time, I kind of want to pick Liliana as my divine, even on this one. So, even though I said pick Cassandra, technically Liliana is the best choice either way, no matter what you do, so just pick her.
I think you would make a good divine.
I am glad to hear it. Your support may persuade the Grand Clerics to vote in my favor. Justinia wanted the Chantry to grow, but her reforms never took root. She was held back by tradition and was too gentle to force change. I won't make that mistake.
I don't see why you'd bother.
Because I owe it to Justinia. She started the work, and I will finish it. Justinia thought the circles needed to change. But why stop there? The Chantry alienated potential allies by brutalizing elves and belittling dwarves. If we could bring them into the fold, wouldn't we have peace? There are those who would cling to the old ways, of course. But they will see. I would make them see. But I've rambled on too long. I am not divine. Yet. So if we kill Corypheus, he has the power to move from one tainted creature into another? What we will learn next? That he can command the sun to rise or the seas to burn?
Can we prepare for flaming seas? Maybe collect all the snow from the frostbanks, just in case?
I'll see what I can do. I have researchers scouring the Temple of Mythol as we speak. I hope that their search turns up something we can use. Ancient magic, perhaps. Something even Corypheus missed. Anything to give us an edge.
I'll leave you to your work.
Something you need?
I should go.
Try not to kill anyone without me.
Of course.
Inquisitor.
It's been quite the momentous day, hasn't it, my dear? How do you feel? It's not every day one absorbs ancient elven magic. Actually, between the voices and the binding oath to a possibly demonic power, I'm a bit concerned. Wise of you, Inquisitor. We cannot guess at what the lasting effects of the well might be. The Circle had little information about elven magic to begin with. Perhaps I'll speak to Dorian. Rest assured, we will find a way to circumvent whatever bargain you've made. The pieces are nearly in place. We'll soon strike against Corypheus directly. You've done well. I will be proud to fight alongside you when the time comes. I always have time for you, my dear.
You have begun practicing new magical forms. Interesting. You seem to be drawing upon the raw substance of the Fade, likely using your mark as a catalyst. I use similar techniques, although it took me years to learn them. Why did you choose such an esoteric area of study?
I hoped that studying such magic would help me better understand the Fade.
While our fight affords little time for formal study, the wise can better themselves even in the midst of battle. Perhaps especially then. I hope your new studies serve you well. Did you need anything else?
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Victory in the Arbor Wilds. The Archdemon might have been a real threat to our army, but it flew off once we turned the tide. It is still out there, however. I wonder what Corypheus plans now.
He has nothing left to throw at us.
Do not underestimate Corypheus. He is powerful, and you have yet to fight him one-on-one. But he will come. You will get your chance.
You don't seem concerned about that.
I'm terrified. Yet I have faith in you. Not long ago, this was impossible to imagine. You, a valued friend, victory close at hand. The time has come to consider what will come next.
We still have to beat Corypheus.
I have not forgotten. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. You have come far, my friend. It has been an honor.
Claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Greetings, Your Worship.
Though all before me is shadow, yet shall the Maker be my guide. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the beyond. For there is no darkness in the Maker's light, and nothing that he has wrought shall be lost.
A prayer for you?
For those we have lost, and those I am afraid to lose.
I'm glad you haven't lost your faith.
I've questioned it at times, but I found comfort in faith when life offered little. Corypheus will retaliate. It's only a matter of time. We must draw strength wherever we can.
Unless he gets bored and surrenders. Any chance of that?
I doubt it.
I understand you were off to summon Mathal, of all things. Do the mysterious voices of the well tell you what she, in fact, might prove to be?
They're a little unclear on that point.
I suggest you prepare yourself, Inquisitor. It will no doubt be most interesting.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
Empress of fire in the reign of the lion, eclipsed in the eye of the empire of
So to kill Corypheus, all we have to do is kill his dragon first? That's easy. We're good at killing shit. Just one more big fight to put this Magister asshole down for good. I knew you'd get us here, boss.
I've been waiting for the chance to pay that bastard back.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Empress of fire,
You've been skittish for days. What's up your crawl?
My what? Nothing.
good day to you.
Corypheus died, and then he didn't. That's why he always felt wrong, like he didn't fit inside himself. He wears another man's life. I thought dying was forever.
So did I. Corypheus seems to break a lot of rules.
But is it him? Is he real? If a man can be dead and then not, could I have saved the real Cole?
I have no idea. I'm sorry. I hardly understand any of this myself.
It gnawed at me, hooks in the hollows, pain of not knowing like the knot in his belly. But that is a hurt, and hurts can heal. I can heal. Forget.
Cole? Cole, are you...
You may still use that name, if you like. I am here to help you.
Did he just memory wipe himself?
Oh, hiya.
Listen, stand there. Right there. Now, about Mythal.
Sarah, I don't know what reaction you want, but can this be it so we can be done?
All right, so maybe it's still you. Someone needed to do something. I mean, you went wading into a well of sorrows. Who hears that and thinks, well, dunk a butt, let's have a go? Even mad old Abelas said elves destroyed themselves. The only believable bit in a sea of clear demon bait. It makes messing with their relics real stupid. So, test done, you're still you. We can leave these lies behind.
How is aiming an arrow at my face a test?
I heard once that if you're possessed, the demon will defend itself against attack. Sounds stupid to say it out loud. I don't know. I don't know demons. At least, if it's true, the arrow's right there. I'm sorry, yeah? Morrigan's probably got better ways, but who can trust her?
You never do that to me again.
Fine, all right. Sorry I don't know how to deal with rubbish no one was meant to.
Why are you dismissing what happened in Mythal?
Of course. None of it holds up. I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in the woods, but so what? There can't be a bunch of gods, and the Maker. Don't matter how much or little you believe, those don't fit. So call me stupid, but I believe the stuff not made up by dead people who failed. Mythal is a ruin full of demons. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
There's so much history there. What if some of it is true?
No, now you're stupid. You can't think that because it's stupid.
But everything we saw.
Why believe it? Because Abelas looked weird? If that's all it takes, Cariffi's shitheel is full of lumpy truth. You're not even an elf. Why are you being so damned elfy? You're the frigging herald of Andraste. Every time you open your mouth, you'll sound like an idiot.
It's not as if it matters what I believe. I've already denied being the herald.
Not for me to say, yeah. Just saying. Anyway, believe what you want. So long as we kill Cariffi fish. Whatever.
We'll be spread thin until the rest of our forces return from the Arbor Wilds.
Of course.
You're concerned.
The consequences of drinking from that well... Never mind. Forgive me, Inquisitor. For personal interest, I have relieved Josephine, as you might expect. Knight Templar Samson, General to Corypheus, traitor to the Order. The blood on his hands cannot be measured. His head is too valuable to take. Kirkwall, Orlais, many would see him suffer. I can't say I'm not one of them.
Judging him will affect as many as his crimes. I won't take it lightly.
The Red Lyrium will steal your vengeance. You know what it does. Corypheus only delayed my corruption.
Are you still loyal to that thing? He poisoned the Order, used them to kill thousands.
Templars have always been used. How many were left to rot like I was, after the Chantry burned away their minds? Piss on it. I followed him, so Templars could at least die at their best. Same lie as the Chantry. The Prophet just isn't as pretty.
I found your people. They believed in you, believed your cause was righteous.
Not your business, Inquisitor.
Your friend Maddox was so loyal, he killed himself. For you.
They were always going to die. I saw what Corypheus was doing. So yes, I fed them hope instead of despair. I made them believe their pain had purpose, just like the Chantry does. Right, Commander? It ended as well as anything else I've done. Corypheus would kill me on sight. I'll tell your people what they want. Everything I cared about is destroyed.
Samson, you can still be of use to good people. What you know is less important than what you are. My Arcanist will study your resistance to Red Lyrium.
Do as you will, Inquisitor. Your kind always does.
Thank you for your investment in my investigations, Inquisitor. I've learned something, I think. I don't know.
Have you learned anything new from your guest?
Yes, he's a Red Lyrium-infused masterclass in how to be a sourpuss. He doesn't do anything. I mean, I can't blame him. He's kind of broken. It's very sad. But I can wring out a rune or two. His armor is a fantastic application of old and new. It's mesmerizing. The best things are, you know.
What have you learned? Did you find out about the Fade?
I got a scraping that was cleaned off you, and it's weird. And the other rift bits, they're weird. It's just weird. I said weird, right?
Answers, Dagna.
Lyrium and the Fade linked, but dwarves and Tranquil not linked. But they work Lyrium, so they are, somehow. There's something there. I was face deep in a rune, and for a moment, I was tall. Really tall. And I thought all the thoughts.
What do you mean when you say thought all the thoughts?
No. As if for a moment I was around all my people. And my thought was all of theirs.
Your thoughts were their thoughts?
No, my thought was all of our thoughts. Like, parts. Words are mush. Maybe that's what the stone feels like. Or we think it feels like. If we think it feels. Creepy.
You felt taller? How much taller?
Like tall. Or I was the mountain. But I was moving. I felt dizzy. You know what I remembered? Watching a shaper had carved the wall of memory, except big. Isn't that weird? Maybe there were fumes.
So Tranquil and Dwarves are linked to Lyrium, but also not linked.
Like the lyrium needs to flow, but if you're part of it, it takes you with it. So you can't be part of it. That makes me sad. I'm not sure why. It seems like we should be part of it. Whatever it is. And maybe we're the ones who make it happen. Whatever it is. You know what's frustrating? Answers that aren't answers. Ugh.
Keep investigating, and let me know what you find.
I tried to make it happen again, but it wouldn't. Then I had a headache. And cocoa and a lie down. I'll keep at it. It's weird. Oh, and I made a rune. It's weird too. Be careful with it.
Samson took everything from those Templars. He corrupted their souls, twisted them into everything they stood against, everything they would have hated.
You're letting Samson get to you.
And what if I am? The red lyrium left Samson's mind unaltered. He knew what he was doing. And he dares speak as though it were a mercy? The man's a monster. Dagna is far too kind a jailer for the likes of him.
Samson got what he deserved.
The men and women he betrayed, they deserved something better. Samson deserves nothing. The Red Templars needed to be torn down. We've broken Corypheus' army. I might have known some of them. If my life had gone differently, I might have been one of them. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had not been at the Conclave? If you'd never become the Inquisitor?
Sometimes. My life would be less complicated, less dangerous.
Or it could be worse. There would still be chaos, and that was meant to sound comforting. I can see how it wouldn't. At all. You've led us this far. Many owe you their lives. Whether or not the Maker sent you, you are needed here.
Rightio, so we'll stop here for now because we already did most of the conversations with everyone, not to mention finishing that quest as well. So obviously from here we're gonna meet up with Mathal, aka Flemeth, to then preparing for the final battle. So we'll stop here. We'll use the next video to pretty much finish up any last minute side stuff all around. Not to mention maybe fighting the last few dragons around, so we can just finally get that out of the way. So yeah, we'll probably do that. So we'll spend the next video hunting and trying to fight the rest of the dragons, and obviously, you know, in doing any last minute side stuff that we can do, because some of them are still very, very confusing to do. So yeah, we'll do that. So that way when we come back in 2 weeks, because I'm thinking in 2 weeks that we might stop doing videos, so that way I can spend the last week and a half of December doing stuff for Christmas and so forth, and then obviously when New Year's begin, maybe not do videos the first 2 weeks of January until the 3rd week, and then continue back doing video games from there. So we'll be back with another video to do Dragon Quest or any last minute side stuff before we move on to the finale. And as always, leave a like and comments.